Hey guys, I'm Texas Dave, owner of Rally Ready Driving School. Today we're here at our 136-acre rally ranch just outside of Austin, Texas, and it is the middle of July and we have one problem, and that's overheating. Most of the cars we run here are production-based sedans like this one or these Yamaha side-by-sides, and as hard as we drive these cars, it's really difficult to keep temperature out of them, especially when we're at 100+ degrees outside. So we were recently introduced to this Nano Pro MT coolant, and today we're going to test it in our Yamaha YXZ1000R, which is the most difficult vehicle for us to keep cool. We're going to see if this stuff will help pull some heat out of the engine and keep us from overheating. So here we have our Nano Pro MT Nano Cool High Performance Coolant. I literally know nothing about this whatsoever. All I know is this vehicle right here has a teeny little radiator that's tucked in the front, and every time I drive it, as hard as we drive it out here on our 1-mile Raptor test track, the temperature likes to creep up quite a lot. So we cleaned the radiator out today. We're gonna go drive it first stock with the factory coolant still in it. This thing is completely unmodified as far as engine goes from the factory. We'll do a few laps, we'll see how hot we can get it. We'll come in, we'll change it to the Nano Cool coolant, and we'll go back out, do a few more laps, and we'll see if we can find any obvious temperature differences. So we're getting ready to go hot for our first lap with the factory coolant on board here still. The current temperature is 102 degrees on the gauge. I think it's about the same outside. And so we're gonna go pretty much from cold. We're gonna go give it the beans here for a few laps, see how high we can get that temperature, and then we'll bring it in, we'll swap it for the Nano Cool and see if it makes a difference.
Oh, look at that. Well, we got pretty low ambient temperature, all things considered, so it was a little harder to get her heat soaked than usual, but we managed to, with a lap in the woods where there's not a lot of airflow, we got it up to pretty standard temperature for us, which is just under 240, about 238, 239. Is what our kind of final temperature was as we came in. So 240 is overheating for these, as far as I remember, for the light coming on. So we got a few laps out of it before we got up to that 240 point. So now we'll kind of compare it to the Nano Cool and see if we can't get a little bit more time, or if we can push a little bit harder.
Pretty decent ratio of catchery, actually. I'm gonna rinse my hand off here on this very hot area. So we just drained the OE coolant, and we're getting ready to fill it with the Nano Cool High Performance Coolant, and hopefully we'll see if we can pull a little bit of temp out of this thing. Alright, so we're already starting at 160. A little bit warmer than the last one. And yeah, it is quite majestic, isn't it? gonna need a new spine after that round. We didn't go easy on her, that's for sure. Just a second. Come down some. Yeah. Yeah, it's close, but I'd give it I'd say it's almost 10 degrees cooler. It's definitely a touch cooler. Definitely a touch. Get it down 3 more degrees. We may have. We did? Yeah. Cool. All right, ready to kill it? That was awesome. High five.
217 is the final reading?
Yeah.
Resting temperature?
Yeah. Still dropping pretty quick. So that was definitely a remarkable improvement. Yeah, it was. So we started about 40 degrees warmer on this one than we did on the last one. I mean, reasonably so. We've had probably a 3-degree drop in ambient temperature. Still really hot. The only difference maybe, I mean, if we wanted to be as fair as we possibly could, we might have 5-mile-an-hour winds that we didn't have the first time. Other than that, ambient-wise, it's same conditions. We started this about 40 degrees warmer on that run. So to make up for it, we did an extra lap as well. So we did an extra lap on the short course, started 40 degrees warmer, and we came back about 9 or 10 degrees cooler, but it was in the woods, and there's a couple spots back there that are really tight and technical that normally we really heat soak bad, and we stayed pretty consistently at 220, which is pretty much, that's ideal operating temp for this thing. I mean, truly, I can honestly say that is a substantially more stable coolant temperature than we normally get. You'll get a lot of really high peaks. In the 2016 of this Yamaha YXZ, there's no coolant temperature gauge, so all we have is a little red overheat light. So when I bought these things, I bought 3, and the first day that I had it, I overheated one in an hour, and it got so hot it sent the coolant hose off, warped the head, and I had to send it back for a new motor. I didn't even know because there's just a tiny light. So that's a huge issue with these cars. And watching the temperature on this run versus the last one, substantially different. You get a lot of sort of peaks and spikes in some of the tighter technical sections with the OE coolant, and with the Nano Cool, it was incredibly stable. There's maybe a couple of spots where it wanted to sort of creep up a tiny bit, but we never saw anything over maybe 225 while we were actually running. And we get the final sort of heat soak right as we come into this last technical section is where we creep up towards 230, and we saw maybe 229, 230, which is still 6-7 degrees cooler. Taking into account that we started 40 degrees warmer with a heat-soaked engine, and we did an extra lap of the track. I mean, for me personally, as somebody who buys a tremendous amount of lubricants and coolants all day, every day for our fleet of 30 cars, I can definitively say that I'll take it. I'll take it in everything.